Hi everyone, so welcome back to the channel. A little bit of a different video this time. So you probably will have seen, if you've been watching the news lately, that motorbikes have been in the news quite a lot, and they're not usually, well, not this much anyway. I've also got a guest today. This is Louise. She is one of the directors at Sorrymate. I'll be handing over to her in a moment. But yeah, motorbikes have been in the news quite a lot lately. You will have seen that the government have just dropped their new consultation phase, which a lot of people are talking about. I've read through it. There's a couple of things that I'm quite happy about that I think probably do need a little bit of an update. There's also a couple of things in there that I think are potentially bad for the industry and potentially bad for learners as well, or some learners at least. But yeah, that has been doing the rounds, and unfortunately there is also some sad news that bikes have been in the news for recently as well. So for people who are aware of the blood bikes, unfortunately there is a man who has just passed away, Andrew Rogers, who volunteers as a blood biker in Wales for the Welsh blood bikes. He was involved in a pretty serious accident on the 30th of December and unfortunately did pass away in hospital a few days later due to his injuries. But yeah, I'm going to hand over to Louise. She has more on this, and there's also been some action taken as well. So, hi Louise, thanks for joining me, and take it away.
Hi Chris. Hi. I'm a director of Sorrymate, and as part of the biking in the community initiatives that we support, I volunteer with Merseyside and Cheshire blood bikes. And we were alerted through our colleagues in Blood Bike Wales that unfortunately a rider who was out on duty on the 30th of December was unfortunately involved in an incident, and his injuries unfortunately led to him losing his life. This follows on the heels of another rider, unfortunately also with Blood Bike Wales, who lost his life later last year, I think October time, also on duty, also taken off his bike. And in recent years, Northwest Blood Bikes have also lost a rider who's been on duty. So what I was discussing with my colleagues at Merseyside and Cheshire Blood Bikes was how we could make ourselves more visible on the road and what could be done so that drivers don't miss us and they see us when we're out and about. And we were talking about different lighting on bikes. And we know we've seen police bikes, they have flashing blue lights on. Paramedics have blue lights on. We'll have medics who've got green lights on, their doctors as well. And I was interested to see if we could get some sort of extra lighting on blood bikes that would make them more visible on the road, because we're all luminous, we've all got the jackets on, the high-vis jackets, but it's still clearly not enough for people to notice us. So I thought that I would start a petition to see what support I could get and to raise awareness for blood bikers who are out on duty, all volunteers. Some of them on their own bikes, but you'll have seen the fleet bikes with blood on, and they're luminous and all the gear and their back boxes. But something to make them safer on the roads, that people do notice them, and something that makes them a bit more eye-catching than clearly they must be at the moment. So I've started a petition to see if I could get some support for bringing it to the attention of somebody who can actually do something about it, and those people would be the Department of Transport. So I started a petition on Facebook earlier this week, and I think you have an update, Chris, on how many people we've actually got who've signed up to that at the moment.
Yeah, so I've got it up on the screen at the moment, so I can have a look at it. It sits at 2,249 at the time of this video.
That's good. So it just shows that we do have support for the changes that we're trying to highlight to people. So if you see that petition on Facebook, it's doing the rounds, please sign it or share it to as many biker groups as you can, and let's see how much attention we can raise. Because if we can get that in front of somebody at the Department of Transport, then, you know, we might be able to make a change. And if it saves one life, then that's all good, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you know, people who have heard of Sorrymate will know that we all ride. I'm only unfortunately on a CBT right now, so especially with the news lately, there's a little bit more of a push to get the full license. I know Louise obviously has a full license, but just about the blood bikes, just a little minute, just for people who may not know. And this is something that when I've spoken to people, when I was at Motorcycle Live, a lot of them didn't realise. I know Louise touched on it before, and she did say that you know, these riders are volunteers. They don't get paid. They do it for out of the goodness of their own heart. A lot of people think that these guys work for the NHS or with the NHS. They do work with the NHS, but it's completely voluntary. They have to pay for their own fuel. They have to maintain their own bikes. It's completely free of charge. It is basically it's just bikers loving what they do on their own bikes and doing it to help other people. So, these guys are going out, and unfortunately, like Louise has said, there's been several now that are unfortunately passed away, just doing a good service and just being out on the road. And these guys deliver life-saving equipment. They obviously deliver blood, but they also deliver things like breast milk, life-saving tissue, cancer samples, things like that. And on a bike, people who ride will know they're a lot more nimble. They can get from A to B a lot quicker. And one thing I kind of wanted to just touch on, and you might know, Louise, especially with training to be one, right now with the blood bikes, why are they not allowed to have any lights on them?
The rules around what lights you can have on your bike are governed by the Department of Transport, and it just so happens that blood bikes haven't been included in the legislation that allows them to have the different lighting, which is what the petition is about, to bring it to the attention of the Department of Transport on the back of fatalities, unfortunately, and see if we can do something about it.
Yeah, I mean, if you see them, the average driver, I suppose, like I was saying before, that a lot of motorbike news going around right now, and as with anything in the press, you'll see quite a lot of biased articles. I've seen a lot of people saying bikes don't belong on the road, and that's a saying that's been around for God knows how long. For people who've never sat on one, who've never actually experienced what it's like to ride a bike. I personally think it takes a lot more skill to ride a bike than it does to drive a car. You have to be so much more aware.
Yeah, and also the blood bike riders will also have advanced motorcycling qualifications. So, for instance, in Merseyside and Cheshire, you cannot get on one of the fleet bikes without having either an IAM or a RoadSmart qualification. And a lot of the blood bike groups around the country will be the same. So these are really experienced riders, and they're still being injured in accidents. It takes a long time to train to be an advanced rider. It's a completely different set of skills. It will completely change your riding experience. Maybe if drivers went on those courses, that might be something that would highlight to them how vulnerable motorbike riders are, and to look out for them. Check your blind spots before you pull over. Check who's coming up on your inside. Blood bike riders actually will be trying to get through the traffic to get to where they're going as soon as possible. They might be filtering where it's safe to do so. Look out for them. It's more of an awareness. But if we can have different lighting on the bikes, that makes it much more obvious that something is coming up alongside you or behind you, and just gives us a bit of extra space, it might help save your life.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been an advocate for more awareness. It's just in general for bikers. I mean, obviously riding my own, I passed my CBT. I've nearly coming up to a year now, and I've already come off again. Completely not my fault. Just someone wasn't paying attention. For those of you out there that do drive cars, you are a lot more protected. You've obviously got that huge metal shell around you. You've got your windows and the roof and everything. You're all insulated. The only protection we have is the gear that we wear. And unfortunately, in some cases, like with the blood bikers, even that isn't enough. When you come to your junctions, you look left and you look right, and there's no cars. Do it again, because there could be a bike coming. They're a lot smaller. They're a lot harder to spot. But just that extra couple of seconds is literally the difference between you and somebody else making it home to their own families as well. There's definitely not enough awareness out there. I mean, especially like I touched on, this government consultation period. I think that something possibly should be added to the whether it's driving lessons or whether it's the test itself. Maybe even like when us as bikers, we have to do the CBT in the car park. Maybe if there was something where, if people were going for a driving license, they had to do it just a couple of hours in a car park, just sit on a bike, see how it works, just to understand how exposed you are. But with this petition, I mean, 2,249 signatures is crazy already. I know there's a hell of a lot more bikers out there, so we can definitely get more eyes and attention on this. But one of the things that it's already done is it has made the press. The Western Telegraph have actually picked this up. So I suppose for Louise, where do you see this going? What do you want to do next? Where do you want to try and take this?
I would like people to sign and share this as much as they can. It's on Facebook, it'll be on Instagram, it's on LinkedIn. If you see it, share it, sign it. Let's get this to the Department of Transport. I've also I'm due to have a conversation with NAB, who have been also doing something behind the scenes to get some consultation going to change visibility around blood bikers. So anything that we can do to get this in front of MPs and the Department of Transport is all good. Let's protect people while they're out on the roads.
Yeah. And I suppose just to wrap this up, if anyone's watching this that maybe rides and drives, you'll probably already be aware, just look. But for the people out there that might come across this, just next time you're out, if you come to a junction or even a roundabout, just take that couple of extra seconds. Just double check. It doesn't take long. If you're on your way home from work, I understand everyone wants to get home. Everyone wants to get into the warmth right now with the weather outside. But that could literally make the difference. The extra 2 little looks either side, like Louise said before, your blind spots, just being that little bit more aware will probably ensure that that person on a bike gets home after work as well. And it's just unfortunate that, we've lost a couple of blood bikers because, I mean, in my eyes, they're special. They really are for what they do, free of charge. Everybody loves them. We've been to events, and as soon as you say, "Oh, here's a blood bike," or "He's a blood biker," "She's a blood biker," people just light up. They love them, and it is a fantastic service they provide. Me personally, I think they should actually be getting paid, but the fact that they do it voluntarily it's just another level. So. Just, watch out for bikes. Just a little couple of extra looks, a little bit more awareness, especially coming up to junctions, like I say, and roundabouts. And if you are a rider yourself, ride safe. Keep an eye out. But yeah, Louise, thank you very much for taking the time. I know you're very busy and you've got a lot on. But I'm behind this. I hope that we can get as many eyes on this as possible. I've already signed it. I'll be sharing it as well. But yeah, thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you.
Right, take care and I'll see you soon.
Bye bye. Ride safe.